Special announcement.
Oven.
This was not an intentional fail. This happened. Things happen. So, we are making this special announcement at the beginning of this episode because there was a slight technical problem after recording. And basically, as a vampire turns to a million pieces of dust when they die, this episode shattered like a major award and turned into hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of little audio files that I have painstakingly reassembled. So there are a few pieces missing, though. And in those places, since this is an episode about Lost Boys, we'll be playing snippets of Cry Little Sister, which is played a million times in this movie. So, exactly. So, also, this episode's a little different because there are guests. So tell us who they are, Joelle.
Okay, Parry. It's Chris and Melissa.
Yes, and you'll find out who they are and how they're connected to us when the episode begins.
I mean, they're connected to me.
And me through marriage to you.
I guess. Whatever. You can't claim all my people.
I'm claiming your people.
Oh.
They give me legitimacy.
Thanks, appropriation by a white man of the black people. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Pretty much. So the episode begins in 3, 2, 1.
Blast off. Okay. Welcome to You Haven't Seen What? A married couple's quest to rectify the wrongs of their partner never seen culturally relevant movies. Hi, everybody. I'm Joelle.
I'm Parry. And we are joined by others today.
We are another married couple.
For the first time ever.
Welcome, Chris and Melissa.
Hello.
Hello.
Now, in all honesty and disclosure, we are connected to these people.
Yes.
Oh, we are we?
They're not
I like how you fucking proclaim that shit like that shit is yours to proclaim. Bitch, I'm related to those people. I mean, you're related to those people too.
Well, yes. I mean, certainly
by marriage.
Chris and I were bonded by rum and sunburn.
By rum and sunburn?
Rum.
And sunburn.
Oh,
I heard rum and sunburn.
Yeah, so did I. Hashtag disclaimer. All these bitches have been drinking already.
Yes, to connect this back to Club Paradise, Chris and I, met at your cousin's wedding in the Melissa's sister's wedding in Jamaica.
Yeah. You guys really bonded that weekend.
Yes, and I think now that we've talked about Club Paradise on a recent episode, I get the feeling that the staff were probably taking bets on how burned I would get.
I mean, I would.
I would too. Fucking alcohol poisoning all the way.
Because we were out on the floating platform drinking rum punch all day. And
yes, and the brown woman, a.k.a. me, tried to get you the fuck off.
Yeah, and I didn't listen, and then I had trouble getting my suit on the next day.
Pretty much.
I don't need to hear about that. That's you can keep that to yourselves.
Yeah, so Joelle and I are cousins.
Yes, we are.
Chris and I are married.
Yes, we
Parry
are.
and I are lovers.
Yes.
Occasional.
Yes.
Part-time.
Thank you for jumping in. Yes.
I roll at all of these people a whole fucking lot. So it's going to be like herding fucking cats on this episode.
Like how it is with the fam,
Pretty much. And the big fat Chinese Jamaican family has now come into the studio. And we're here and talking about fucking Lost Boys of all things.
Michael and Sam have just moved to Santa Carla, California. They're about to discover its secret.
What's happening, Star? Get yourself a good sharp steak. Drive it right through his heart.
You're a vampire, Michael. My own brother, a damn blood-sucking vampire. Oh, you wait till Mom finds out, buddy.
Yes, which, I feel like is a Max Dugan prequel. How does everyone feel about, Kiefer's appearance in there? I think he's supposed to be the same character from Max Dugan, actually.
This is Parry fucking gaslighting me. You can kiss that shit right now.
I have not seen Max Dugan.
Neither have I.
I really think Max Dugan was a vampire.
It's so good.
I do think this connects to Twilight, though, but I'll get into that as we go on in the podcast.
Well,
Gross.
yeah, we'll get into the Stephanie Meyer connection.
Yes.
But I really, Kiefer and Donald are in Max Dugan, and I think
this is like your favorite fucking come around, and I think you need a new bit. Like, if Max Dugan Returns is your claim to fucking fame on this podcast, you have real issues.
Well, I think that Max Dugan was a vampire. Because he says
so. So here's the disclaimer: I had never seen Lost Boys before because I'm ignoring my husband right now because he's talking bullshit about fucking Max Dugan for like the nth time. It's old as fuck, just like you. Get over it.
Ooh, thank you.
You're welcome.
It was good.
I know, biting. So we're over that. So here, the disclaimer is that I've never seen Lost Boys, but everybody else here had seen Lost Boys.
Yeah, but I had only seen Lost Boys like last Halloween. So there was a movie that when I was a kid, serious. So when I was a kid, I'd seen bits and pieces of it on cable, but I've only ever seen it in its entirety just last October.
So you were really high on sugar when you saw it.
No, maybe.
But Chris, you've seen this, right?
Well, I have seen it, but kind of my comments pertain to the whole first impressions and memories thing. I don't know if you want me to go into that.
Oh yeah, let's go ahead.
Let's
Everybody.
jump
So
into
what
it.
do you remember about Lost Boys? Well, Melissa, yours was last year, so
Pretty fresh.
That's pretty fresh.
Yes.
With me, it was kind of, I realized watching this that I had apparently seen some kind of USA Up All Night version because I did not remember how bloody and or vulgar this movie could be. I was like, holy shit. They must have edited out a lot of garbage because when I saw it, I was like, wow, okay, this is a lot more brutal than I remember. So
It's like Double Dare level blood. It's just everywhere.
yeah, and I was like, wow, but I remember liking it when I saw it as a kid. I was like, hey, this is cool, and it was at least 10, 15 years ago, so it was a while ago.
Yeah, and when I saw it, I'm like, wow, I really liked it. I really enjoyed it. It's a lot of fun. And I'm like, oh, so this is pretty much the genesis of all of the portrayal of vampires I grew up with.
Mm-hmm.
Like Buffy the Vampire Slayer and True Blood, mainly Buffy.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
So
Other
basically,
stuff I'm sure I will remember after we record.
So basically, what you've just learned in a very small amount of time is that Melissa is the most fucking positive person about shit ever. Because
oh no, are we gonna have to fight about Lost Boys?
We might have to fight about Lost Boys because I was like, "What the fuck are you making me watch again?"
Okay, no.
Well,
again.
The disclaimer is always Joel Schumacher. Once you see Joel Schumacher's name, you kind of have to know what you're getting into.
Are we gonna get fucking hate mail about Joel Schumacher?
No,
No,
because
I don't
he
think
almost
so.
destroyed the Batman franchise.
He did apologize, but it's like, come on, Joel. Come on.
Yeah.
When I saw Joel Schumacher's name there, I was
I'll be an asshole.
I was like, oh, really? But I remember liking it as a kid, so I was like, okay, I'll give this a go. But yeah, Batman really did a number on him, and
No.
it's
He did a number on Batman.
okay, fair. But you forget that Schumacher actually has some talent when he uses it properly.
Yeah, So it's not like he's king of the flops, even though we rag on him for Batman Forever and Batman and Robin, but he does have some good films under his belt.
Yeah, and he's so strangely uneven.
Yeah.
And I think he gets really wrapped up in an idea or an atmosphere he's trying to create, and he was really trying to go for 60s camp with Batman Forever and Batman and Robin.
Yeah.
And you know what? I'm sorry, but Val Kilmer, Adam West, you are not. Or you too, Clooney.
No, can I tell you?
And Bat.
Okay, wait.
And bat thongs.
All right. Rewind. We're not fucking talking about Batman, even though they both can hang upside down and shit. Like, and I know. I mean,
Maybe
a
bats'
vampire turn
fascination.
into bats. Like, I mean, like, I get it. Rewind. Lost Boys. Synopsi.
Okay.
I was
Parry
gonna say, so
Silcox.
is Joel Schumacher just really into ripped guys hanging upside down?
I think that's a question for
I mean-
Joel Schumacher.
I mean that's all right as long as everyone's a consenting adult.
True.
Oh no,
yeah,
this makes me feel about losing Neverland.
Oh,
I can't.
no,
I
we're
can't.
not
I
getting into
can't.
that.
I can't.
That's
You
another
guys. I
episode.
can't.
Stay
Can't even
focused.
start that.
Woo! Okay,
So-
synopsis.
So you know what? I would like to see. Did anyone else bring a synopsis? I see. I figured other people would have brought one.
So that's why you didn't fucking do it?
He has
that
it
what happened?
memorized.
He doesn't fucking have that shit memorized. He didn't do it. Look on his paper. Oh, I see it right fucking there. No, that's the paper way there that has this big fucking blank space. You asshole. This is your movie. That's your
All
responsibility.
right, so he's seen it before, so he's already got it in his
He
head.
can kind of wing
No,
it.
no, he can't wing
Okay,
it.
all right.
You'll learn that real quick.
All right, okay, all right.
Ryan,
All right.
passing this honor
Passing
on to
the
others.
buck.
All right, okay. May
Go
I?
ahead. Yes,
Okay.
Melissa.
So I put, in the wake of her divorce, Lucy Emerson packs up her sons and moves home to sunny Santa Carla. However, the boys soon find that there's a dark side, lurking under sun, surf, and carny games.
Oh shit, that's pretty fucking good. God damn.
Yes, I like it.
Thank you.
I like it. And Chris,
I
you
might
had
need your
one
help
too?
with some
Mine
shit.
is a little different, but I'll give it a go.
Oh my god, you wrote a fucking novel.
No, I
what the fuck
This
is
has got to
that?
fit on iTunes.
Go ahead, go ahead,
Relax.
go ahead.
A young girl has her heart broken when her vampire boyfriend falls for a blazing hot recent arrival and watches helplessly as they fight their burgeoning but forbidden lust for one another. As her boyfriend tries to turn the recent arrival, she, ignored and conflicted, goes after the new arrival as well. Complicating it all, hot arrival's little brother has made friends with preteen towny psychopaths who murder for kicks. How will this love triangle play out? Also, Kid Napoleon and Grandpa fucks.
How about we know
Kid
who?
Napoleon.
How about I feel like you've read all of the fucking Twilight series? How about fucking that?
Well, I was just
How
surprised there
about
was no
that?
reference to the Sexy Sax Band in that description anywhere.
God damn.
He has his own paragraph.
Okay, good. He
Oh
does
my
need his
God.
own synopsis.
It's gonna be a long one, folks. Fucking buckle in right
Wait,
now.
Joelle, let me
Yes,
ask you.
yes.
Is my synopsis wrong?
I
Factually.
didn't say that. I said, bitch, it's just got to be brief.
I mean, it's definitely an angle that I don't think anyone else has explored.
Agreed. Agreed.
Look,
Well,
I'm an idiot when it comes to movies. I specifically turn my brain off, so I'm surprised by plot developments. And if
Yeah,
you
but-
can't kind of see the homoerotic subtext of this movie, you're fucking
Oh no,
blind.
there's always homoeroticness to any vampire movie.
In any Joel Schumacher movie.
Yeah,
Oh Lord.
Yeah, and we're not talking about Nightmare on Elm Street 2. We're talking about Lost Boys. So
Oh shit, your wife
Oh.
gave you fucking shade. Damn.
Well,
I'll let that one lie.
Shade.
to do the short synopsis, mine was just, if you thought adult vampires were bad, teen vampires are real assholes.
A+ for brevity.
Thank you. Thank you.
that was like
That's-
2 lines.
See? That
I used up my 4-line maximum.
Yeah,
I
I like
had something to live up to because Joelle can do it in like 13
To be fair,
words.
mine was 5. It's just typed.
In
Single space.
in 2-point font.
Oh,
Jesus.
Whatever.
Well,
Wait, hang on, wait, Joelle, what's your synopsis?
No, dude, I don't do the synopsis. The person who has watched the movie,
Oh.
no. The person who has watched the movie does the who has already seen the movie before does the synopsis. That is how the podcast goes.
Okay.
unless you have guests that you can Tom Sawyer your work off onto.
Oh man.
Fucking just like the white man.
Painting that fence.
Just like the white
yeah, I
man.
did just kind of live up to that
Yeah, you
stereotype.
fucking did. You fucking took advantage of 2 brown people.
No. Wait. But when you emailed us the worksheets for our notes, you didn't say anything about like, hey guys, just leave that blank.
No, bitch. I was like, you've listened to our
So
podcast
you
before.
are complicit. You are complicit.
I'm not fucking complicit. You can fill it out as much as you want or not as much as you want. You just both are fucking completists. Ergo,
More or
you filled
less,
out
yeah.
everything.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Yep.
your own shit.
Okay.
Yeah.
And I wanted to have something quippy and clever.
No, it
prepared, so-
was very quippy and clever.
Thank you.
Uh-huh. Where are we? Oh, was there any standout scenes for you guys? Like anything that was you were just like, what the fuck is happening? Or
Yes,
yeah, that
I
was
have
really
I
awesome.
have a few.
Okay. Oh
Let me,
shit,
let
I have
me
a
flip
few.
to the page.
I'm also with people today who are not who don't have brevity.
Okay, so one is actually something that happens later on in the film. Like, I mean, I know, like, if you're listening to this podcast, you probably know that there are going to be spoilers ahead.
Yes,
But, like,
if
should
you
we
haven't
just-
seen it by now, then
But should I just start with that? Because it's just the first on my list. Is that okay?
Yeah, that's fine.
any order.
Okay. Grandpa knew there were vampires the whole time.
Whole fucking time.
The whole fucking time. Okay, that's one.
What's how he gets his kicks is he just doesn't tell anyone what to watch out for and
then,
just like watches it all go the fuck down.
And I want to go more in depth with that for a second. Well, later. But like the other one is that their blood is glittery.
Yes.
So that's why I'm thinking like, is this taking place in the same universe as Twilight? In order for me to really flesh out a theory, I would actually have to watch the Twilight movies and pass. Sorry to the fans of Twilight, it's not my cup of tea. And
such a hater.
Generous.
You're such a fucking hater, bro.
Okay,
such a hater.
And Joelle,
what did fucking glittery vampires ever do to you?
Nothing.
Well,
It's the fact that they did absolutely nothing.
Oh, boy.
Well,
Yeah.
if you're going to be a vampire, I want you to be an amoral scumbag. It's
Why? Why can't you be a good vampire?
Because
Like the
even when vampires were created, with the whole Bram Stoker thing, Dracula was a real asshole. To have a kind of moral vampire just doesn't seem
Why
true
not?
to the
Why
spirit
would
of it.
there
that's
be a
what gets
conflict?
me. It's more like I just like so Chris and I watched Twilight with the riff tracks. I don't know if we can like plug somebody else's stuff on this.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah,
yeah.
absolutely.
Yeah,
But,
Riff
like,
Shack's cool.
For those who
If they give us
watch
money.
Mystery Science Theater 3000 or like the new one on Netflix, the original dudes do riff tracks now, right? And they'll do stuff in the theater. It's fun.
Yeah, it's amazing.
So they did sometimes they'll put out audio tracks and then you have to find the movie. So we got the audio track for Twilight. Even the audio track with the jokes did not do anything for that film. Like it was just I don't know what the books are like, but the film was just
The books are actually pretty legit for young
the
adults.
movie was just like aggressively mediocre. I'm sorry.
No. The books are actually pretty good.
Okay, all right, I'll take your word for that.
Yeah, books are pretty good.
Well, but the question is, does the sparkly blood draw a direct connection to the sparkly vampires in Lego Movie 2?
I haven't seen Lego Movie.
There
so I
are
can't
sparkly
tell.
there are
vampires.
sparkly
yes.
Okay,
vampires.
probably.
That are the
too.
sensitive vampires.
Yeah. Oh, by the way, okay, so one more WTF, right? So, Joelle, this is for you because I know you can relate, right? So you know that scene where Michael's all like crashed out and he's like lying in bed in his dirty clothes with his dirty sneakers and he's rubbing his feet into like the bed linens and stuff?
Yeah, it bothered me.
Yeah, I'm like, there's no way you're getting away with that in our family's household.
Oh, hell
The
to the
Jamaican
no.
household.
Hell no.
Your patia sucia gotta fucking go, bro.
No.
You're fucking patia sucia. Like, you gotta go.
Because here's the thing, even say like you go out, run errands and come back, even if like say you're clean, you're not dirty, the point is you were still out on street.
Correct.
Right? So you better not be lying in bed with like
Dirty.
Yeah. You better change into your yard clothes.
Well, since
AKA house clothes.
Since
Yes.
when has Diane Wiest ever in any character been able to convince anyone to do anything?
Yeah, she's a hippie. She's all right.
She's amazing, but she's never the one who really lays the law down, ever. I mean, remember, she brought Edward Scissorhands home to her teenage daughter.
No, you're making it sound so salacious, like, hey, you know what, you'd be great for my teenage daughter. No, she's like, oh, you seem nice and sweet to come home with me, like taking home a stray.
With knives for hands.
Scissors.
Okay.
Scissors.
Go, on track.
Yeah,
back
okay.
on.
Okay,
This is
sorry.
Lost Boys. Lost Boys. Hi.
We got lost.
I really had a really. I was like, bro, why the Frog Brothers? I'm like, why are they so fucking strange? That's number one.
Ooh.
Oh, okay. Arnold Horseshack. I don't know what's happening right here. Mr. Cotta, you have a question? I don't get it.
No, I got something about that.
The
Okay.
town psychopaths. Yay!
Right? No.
So the Frog Brothers, I was like, all right, they're weird as fuck. Like, they're just way too fucking intense.
Mm-hmm.
And I know there's a lot of production notes on that. And then I was like, why, when they start killing them off, I was like, what the fuck with the blood coming out of the sinks? I did not fucking understand that shit.
That
amazing.
was so unnecessary.
I was like,
That
why
sold
is
the
there
movie for
blood
me.
like
It
vomiting
was
out
pretty
of the
awesome.
sinks, out of everything? Like, I was like, that's just way too much fucking blood. That's just gore for gore's sake.
But
I
once you
don't- I
get
don't even
gore to that
understand.
level, it stops being gross and it starts being ridiculous.
Yeah,
Campy. Is that what it is?
Yeah, there
all
we
I
go.
could think was, who's going to clean this shit up?
I mean,
Not
the
Grandpa.
production assistant, not Grandpa.
That's
Fucking
what I was going to
sure
say,
not.
is not Grandpa.
Sure not.
Not Grandpa with his Texas Chainsaw Massacre aesthetic, because that movie must have been really hitting a nerve then, because they even mentioned Texas Chainsaw Massacre in the beginning. It's like, oh, wow, it looks like this. But it really does kind of look like that house.
I really thought
I've never seen Texas
I
Chainsaw
have
Massacre.
a theory about Grandpa too, but again, like as we talk,
I think Grandpa's a fucking vampire.
No, I think Grandpa's a vampire hunter.
Oh.
No, Grandpa is not a vampire. He's a vampire hunter.
No, I think
Grandpa
Grandpa
was
is
out in
like
the sun without many issues.
No, but I think he's like that fucking like old,
Like he's like
old,
uber
like
level.
ancient, vampire.
Like he's got like extra blood points
Yes,
or something.
yes,
shout
exactly.
out to the
I
LARPers.
think he's like actually like a different, family or strain. Does that make sense?
No, yeah,
Yeah,
but-
like I know they're all interconnected because ultimately you can all lead back, but I think he's a different, branch and shit.
I think he's a werewolf.
That would be
Please don't bring that piece of shit movie into this.
No, actually, that would be an interesting theory.
He's a werewolf, not a swearwolf.
Oh, okay. Really? I thought we were gonna go down a rabbit hole with this.
If
He's a
seen
fucking
what we do in
gaslighter,
the
bro. Have you
shadows,
listened to this podcast? He's a gaslighter.
I appreciate the line, but
Gaslighter.
okay.
Yes, if you haven't
Gaslighter.
seen what we do in the shadows, that's
Gaslighter.
it's amazing, and they're apparently making a TV show out of it. But
Yes, it debuts next month. I'm gonna set my DVR. Well, later this month.
All right, let's actually get to a good piece
yes.
Okay.
called "The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly."
Oh, I thought we were doing that.
Your whistling's getting better.
I know, right? Shit, it's amazing.
Yeah.
As I drink more, my whistling gets better. So does this podcast. So everybody's good. Can we all agree on the good?
Probably
we should.
not.
I think
Okay,
Melissa
yeah.
probably not agree on the good.
Okay.
What's your good?
My good is Grandpa. Barnard Hughes,
No, we
top to
don't.
bottom. Grandpa is Bay.
Grandpa's bait, Jesus Christ. In the words of Ariana Grande, thank you, next.
What?
I just don't want anyone to name Kiefer's hair
What?
because Kiefer, it's definitely not the best thing.
So what is your best thing?
Speak for yourself.
What is your best thing? Do you have it? Did you write that shit down?
Yes, I actually did. My best thing was Corey Haim's wardrobe.
Huh. Okay.
I thought Corey Haim was I thought it was one of the best performances Corey Haim put
That's
in
not
his
No,
whole
saying
that's a
a
career.
lot.
good. No, everybody put in a good performance. Like I have to say.
I think I found Corey Haim to be not only very funny in it, but as sort of the comic relief of it in many ways. But I also there's been a lot of talk
Fucking
of
Haim is your good?
if you look at his wardrobe
Haim is your
and
fucking
you look
good.
at his.
Are you serious right now?
I also there has been discussion of his character being gay because of not only the clothes, the sort of flamboyant attitude, the posters on the wall, and whether or not it was meant to
that
be
sexy
that way.
Rob Lowe poster.
No, but that sexy Rob Lowe poster
Facing the bed.
was because that was a callback to Joel Schumacher.
Yes.
Right. So it had nothing really to do with
Okay.
I think it was
Haim
the
shit at
Wait,
all.
did they have a relationship or something?
No. Like he
what
was
me and
in
Corey Haim. No.
I mean,
What? I mean, you look enough like fucking Feldman. Jesus. It's like I married fucking Corey Feldman, not the anemic version.
Well,
Sorry, Corey
look,
Feldman.
Rob Lowe is a man who ages like a fine wine.
But the Mondrian bathrobe that Haim is wearing. But you know what? I actually.
So really, is it wardrobe that you're giving props to, or are you giving
No,
props to
it's-
Haim?
I-
Which one is it? You have to fucking pick one.
It's Haim. And I just.
Haim?
Yeah, actually. And I feel like I like it better if his character is gay. I actually think that to me adds a whole nother layer to his character.
Well,
Well, it adds a whole nother
But
layer
if
to the
you,
film in
if you
general.
go by gay only by wardrobe,
Correct.
Doesn't
No,
that
no,
doesn't
no,
that,
not
doesn't
just-
that lead to the question: is it really gay or was it just 80s?
Which could be possible. It wasn't just the wardrobe. It was just the way he was working that character.
Because
I felt
technically
like.
he was a preteen, and
Yeah.
you could say that he hadn't come into whatever
And-
Well, and that's
his
why it's
awakening,
only,
I guess.
It's only a theory that has floated out there, but I really like that
It is a
possibility.
I mean,
that
it's
is
cool
floated out
either
there.
way.
yeah, and
But-
Joel Schumacher said that part of the reason why Corey Haim is dressed that way is because basically he wanted him to look like, quote, a fashion mall victim. Right?
I
Boy.
saw no victims
They're
in this movie.
they're
I
all
was
victims.
impressed by the fact that the fashion either had not it wasn't anywhere near as out of date as you'd think, or that kind of fashion is starting to come back around again.
Yeah.
Oh well, it all comes back around. It's all cyclical.
Yeah.
Because I'm thinking to myself, I'm like, look, aside from the occasional mullet, everyone looks more or less like that opening scene where you saw all the people in Santa Carla. I keep wanting to say Santa Clara.
Yeah, me too.
But in Santa Carla, I didn't see anyone wearing anything like no MC Hammer pants or any weird shit that doesn't get worn anymore. Everything looks
That's still
kind
in
of
your
like
wardrobe.
it never left. Never. But it was it's like everyone kind of looked
Did you have Z
more or
Cavariccis?
less of today's era, and it could just be that movie was 30 years ago. So.
Yeah, it came out in 1987. P.S. Right, because not to give away too much, I work in a public school, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I saw a teenager wearing a members only jacket.
Yeah, no, they're completely back in.
And it was like the beige members only jacket, exactly the jacket
Grandpa
had.
jackets.
Yeah, they're completely back in.
Oh
There's
my
a gray
gosh.
one hanging on the
So
door
wait a minute.
right behind you.
Yes, when you dress up as Feldman and fucking
When I dress
Goonies.
up as Corey Feldman.
Wait a minute. So did you say you're good? Your good was the wardrobe? Is that
No,
what?
he hasn't.
No.
No,
you're
we're still
good.
on Perry's
No,
good.
no, Perry's. We're
that's
done with
Parry.
Perry.
But-
We're done with Perry.
I do have a question, though.
Okay.
But what?
Connected to fashion
Oh, no,
is
Mr.
my
John.
question: is it a rule as a vampire that you have to have long hair? Because it seems like traditionally vampires, at least post this movie, always seem to have long hair.
Erroneous.
That is.
And
not
do they
right.
have to follow the same rules as the Anne Rice vampires? Like when they cut Kirsten Dunst's hair and it
It
keeps
grows
growing
back.
back. So
Well-
are they doomed to have that haircut? Is Alex Winter going to have that haircut
Okay,
for the
I
rest
think
of
it's
his
more-
life?
Alex
No.
Winter died
The
in
thing
it,
is, okay.
so-
So according to, because I started reading but did not finish the Vampire Lestat, like the book, right? And so
Not enough sex in it.
I got far enough to learn that when a vampire trims the hair and nails, they have to burn it immediately, or otherwise it's going to grow back. However, right, usually when you're dealing with fantastical creatures like this in TV and film, the rules are that your rules can be anything you want as long as you're consistent within your own little universe that you're creating.
Yes.
So maybe they could just cut their hair and it'll be fine, like whatever. But it is mandatory that they wear leather. That is the
I do
mandate
think
that
that's
has
a
come
rule.
out.
Yeah. I think that was mandated by Max.
Yes.
Besides, it's when you have a short-haired vampire, if the hair's too short, you start looking like, what's his name, Max Shrek, or the guy from Nosferatu.
No,
Yes.
because think about it, like Spike, an angel from Buffy, short hair.
Yeah,
right?
because it's off of Kiefer.
Right? True, like the male vampires in True Blood all had short hair. Well, like you had Eric, who started off with long hair and then cut his hair.
Corrected.
Chris is good. All right. Chris is
Well,
good.
see, the thing is, the movie...
A fucking sax guy is your good, bro?
Are
you surprised? Jesus Christ, Soul. Seriously?
It's probably, I still believe, is the most physically compelling song.
Okay, don't go too in depth. Save it for the soundtrack smash.
Since Jean-Marc
my
Dampier's
God.
El Bimbo. From Police Academy.
But
It's like this is as sexy, if not more sexy than that. And it's where everything happened. You had
So,
that going on. You had the guys headbanging to that song,
here's
which
what
is
I've
weird
realized.
enough. And you had Jason Patrick giving creeper eyes to Star. I'm sorry, his name in that.
Help
We
me.
had Michael Emerson giving creeper eyes to Star, but then he found Kiefer and he's like, "Fuck Star."
Well, and the sax guy had long hair.
Blind boys don't lie.
Oh, it's different than
That might have been Crisco, but either way,
Yeah.
everyone seemed to be having a ton of fun.
Yes.
There was no one. It's unlike one was just.
So that's your good.
Yeah, it was.
Not
It was
sax man.
I guess. Well,
They didn't boo him at all and throw stuff at him.
Yeah, to be fair, Saxman is the perfect embodiment of the joie de vivre of this movie.
And the 80s on a whole.
But it's like, but everything else kind of came from that.
You know what? I concur. I'm voting for your good.
Oh, go. Everybody
I'm
fuck
taking
off.
your good.
Fuck all of you guys.
All right.
Did you
okay,
see
okay.
how
Listen,
ripped
let's
he was?
just-
Did you see those chains?
Listen, let's be
I'm
fucking
those
real.
chains scream tough.
I'm on your sexy sax
All
man
right,
bandwagon.
let's just be real. You guys both wish you were the fucking sexy sax man. Then you would actually have gotten
yeah,
women when you were
duh.
younger.
Like,
Well,
no,
That's the only way that shit really works.
And it turns out, Melissa may know more than me, but it turns out that he's actually a musician.
Yeah, he is a musician.
He's a professional.
Legitly.
He was. I think he's Tina Turner's sax man.
Yeah, legitly.
Which makes his performance all the more fitting because that's what he does for a living. So he was putting on an awesome performance for all of Santa Carla.
Right.
You know, he's also now a senator from South Dakota.
Really?
No.
Oh,
You're so welcome. You're so welcome. Welcome to my
damn it, I was
fucking
getting
world.
so excited.
I know. I saw your face and I was like, oh, he's gaslighting you so bad right now.
The scary part about that is that the world we live in, there was no real question as to whether or not that was actually possible. You know, if you have Jesse Ventura and Arnold Schwarzenegger and people like that, there really wasn't that can't be. It was like, oh, really?
Look, I guess we should have put that
Look
to
who
bed.
the fuck our president
Well,
is. Get the fuck out
I
of
was
here.
trying not
Anything
to go
is
there.
possible.
Oh, forget that.
Well, you
It's like,
did.
Look, if a man who's acted next to a chimp can be a president, then anyone can be president, and that's a whole other
True
story.
statement.
Saxman, what was it you said? You said
Saxman 2020.
Yes.
I will vote for that man. I'll vote for him twice.
I don't
Early
know
and
if we can be
often.
friends
I know
anymore.
people.
I don't know if we can be friends anymore. I really fucking don't.
No, but
This podcast is literally taking a fucking turn. Guess never.
well, I would say it's less guess and more family.
Yes, family never. Oh my god.
That's right. We're married into it.
Hashtag never, never again. So wait, I haven't said my good asshole.
Yeah, I know. I
you're-
was going to say, and you're good.
Oh my good. It's fucking Kiefer fucking Sutherland. Point
Kiefer?
blank. Yes, it's Kiefer because he has minimalistic lines.
Michael.
Yeah, he says it 118 times
Yes.
according to one YouTube video.
Yes. So he literally has very small lines, but his intensity and his whole being itself really is just amped up, and the intensity that he brings into every role,
It's not over
amazing.
the top.
It's not over the top.
And it could have been.
It really could have been.
Joelle watches 24 in the dark.
Oh, by the way, okay.
Shut up.
Right, and I think aside from 24, I think this is probably his biggest role because I started off the top of my head, I can't think of anything else he's done besides Lost Boys and 24.
Oh no, there's so much shit, dude.
Yeah, but I'm sure if I look at his IMDb, I'll be like, oh yeah,
Dude,
I've
so
seen it,
much
but
shit.
he's mostly known for that. Can we talk about?
No, there's so much more
Another
that he's
Joel
known for.
Schumacher directed film,
Yeah.
Flatliners.
Oh yes,
There's so
I
much.
forgot
There's
about that.
there's
No one ever mentions 8
Flatliners, there's
millimeter.
Twin Peaks, there's A
I
Few
like
Good
8
Men, there's
Okay.
Vanishing, Young
Yes.
Guns
Yes.
2, Three Musketeers. Hold on.
yeah.
Time to Kill, Eye for Eye, Freeway,
Oh, yeah, he
Designated
was there.
Survivor.
Yeah, you see, again,
there's
there's a lot of stuff he's been in where I'm like, oh yeah, I've seen that, but that's the one I really. If you ask me to name something, those
That's
are the two
the
things
one.
I think
Yeah.
of.
Okay.
He definitely
Can-
has some standouts.
Can we talk about?
The Lost Boys reunion
No,
that's
no, no.
happening at
well,
MegaCon?
No,
Okay.
no, I did not know that. That's awesome. But it figures that Kiefer is your good because.
Oh,
Can
yeah.
we talk about? Okay, so many moons ago, Joelle worked at the Gap.
Yes.
Right?
True story.
Was this
Right?
before or after
And
Specs?
Part of it.
After.
And this was during the time when they were doing the ad campaigns, with all the celebrities. I mean, I'm sure they still do. It's been a while since I've seen an ad. But Kiefer was part of that ad campaign, and so
Correct.
there's this giant,
Fucking 8-foot
vinyl,
poster.
8-foot poster of Kiefer Sutherland hanging in the window at Gap. And when it was time to take all that stuff down, guess where Kiefer landed?
I
Joelle's
don't know
pocket.
how Kiefer landed in my house.
No idea
because that's not really
whatsoever.
supposed to happen. But it was in the trash, and I took it from the trash.
How did it end up in the trash?
Well, no, you're
I'll
supposed
take
to.
this to the
no,
dumpster.
As you're, fuck off, bro.
There are few applications for an 8-foot poster of Kiefer Sutherland. To be fair,
Well, I'm gonna be very
Above the
honest
bed.
with you. No, I'm very. That was hanging in my office for I don't know how long.
Yeah, if you got a wall tall enough.
It was a wall, and it was perfect, and it was awesome. It was literally just fucking Kiefer.
Yep,
The Office.
smoldering at you.
Pretty much.
Also known as the Shrine.
Now, sadly, I don't know where that fucking poster is.
Oh.
That shit
How
would
do
be
you
worth.
lose something like
You
that?
could have brought it to the Lost Boys reunion and had him sign
Fucking,
that.
I know, and you want to know how much that shit would be fucking
That would
worth?
have been so cumbersome
You
to
know
carry
how much
around.
that shit would have been worth?
A lot.
A lot of
Of
money.
all the boobs that Kiefer Sutherland has signed, he'd probably remember your 8-foot poster.
I know. He'd be like, "What the fuck is this?" I'd be like, "Go big or go motherfucking home."
It's like, you know you did it. It's from the Gap. Just sign it.
Exactly.
Well, if they've got a rule about bringing in like swords, they might not let her bring
whoever
that in.
ended up with my fucking Kiefer poster, fuck you. That shit was fucking huge and amazing, and I'm so fucking sad that I don't have that shit anymore. Because you can't find that shit anymore.
Well, in looking at that, I do now understand, though, how Kiefer Sutherland as Jack Bauer could get all over L.A. really quickly. Vampire.
Point.
Because he would get everywhere in L.A. in like 10 minutes, and that's not possible
Okay.
any other way.
I mean, okay. I mean, I didn't watch 24, so I'll take your word for it.
Having
God,
lived
what?
in L.A., I can say you
No,
can't
I mean,
get
it
anywhere in
just
L.A. in
didn't.
10 minutes.
It's not that I have anything. Not that I'm opposed to it. It's just something that never. It's something that I never. Got
I own
the
it.
impetus
In
to
the
watch.
golden age of television,
I own
some
it.
awesome things will fall by the wayside. So
Not 24. 24 was so good. Anyway, speaking of good, we
I
then
don't know, there are
have to
people
go
in
to...
this. There are
Okay.
people in this room who haven't seen The Wire. So
So who's starting off?
Go for it,
okay,
go for
all
it.
It's all
right.
you.
Guess first.
Okay, so the thing is, I don't think I really have a bad or an ugly. I was pretty happy with this movie all around, and I feel like I'm getting nitpicky on some level. But here we go.
We like the nitpicky.
Okay, so here we go. All right, so my bad is not okay. So I mean, not Star herself, not the character.
Oh, damn, you gonna pick on the only female in this
No,
movie?
no, no, I'm not
shit,
picking
besides
on
Mama?
her.
No solidarity.
No.
Diane
Ooh.
Weist would like to have a word
No,
with you.
no, I'm not picking on her or Jamie Gertz.
Okay.
My thing is that I would have liked for her to have a little bit more to do. I felt like she was more relegated to the damsel in distress.
How can these two men have their love story if you've got a woman getting in between them?
So like the big thing I'm
It's
talking
like
about.
it's like how many times
Can
did
I
it was
finish? I'm
Fine.
reclaiming my time.
No regrets.
No regrets. Okay, so my thing is like, okay, so at the end when the vampires come in and they basically have to fight the vampires, right?
Yes.
I would have liked for Star to be a more active participant in that fight. I felt like she was just kind of like there on the side.
Well,
Really, because I feel like she should have been the one to kill David and or Max. Or just one of them, because like it really is Michael's story, so he needs that hero moment. But I think because she was so torn and conflicted, you get the idea that she thought it was a good idea at the time to be a vampire, and she's regretting it now. So I would have liked for her to have that hero moment for herself as well.
yeah, to be fair, this is the fucking 80s, and that hero
That
moment
too,
for
you have to
women,
shrug your shoulders and be like
Fucking
Yeah,
80s.
you have to shrug your shoulders and be like 80s.
80s.
Yeah.
See, but you can say Ellen Ripley, and she reclaims
too.
all of the hero.
And depending
She
on how
is the
far,
hero of the
and
80s.
depending on how far you want to go back, Sarah Connor. But Sarah Connor doesn't really become the hero, the badass to like the early 90s in Terminator 2.
yeah.
But
Okay.
she
So-
can hang in 84 in the 84 original Terminator.
Okay.
Yeah. Gertz, they just seem to have her protecting Laddie the whole time.
Yeah,
That's
and like,
what-
Yeah, well,
and
who
Very
is
like-
this?
motherly.
Who is this?
And he's hardly there.
Who is this? Trafficked child that just comes out of nowhere wearing a full-on Napoleon outfit.
Wait,
He
wait,
did
wait.
look like he had been around for centuries.
Right?
Wait,
but he's
to
on the
be-
carton.
Like they
I
took
got
him
you,
out
I
of
got
the
you.
Civil War or
Hold.
something.
So I had a what the fuck moment. I was like, all these missing kids, and ain't nobody trying to like figure this shit out.
Missing people in general.
I was like, what the fuck is happening? Like everything's on a carton, on a cardboard.
They
like
do.
they're like pamphlets and flyers everywhere.
This
like
movie does beat you
that's
over
some
the head
bullshit.
with a missing kids posters.
I was like, well, where the fuck are the cops? God damn it! I don't
they're
understand.
getting eaten by vampires.
Oh my
Or they're
God.
probably on the take.
Well, the
on
town
a
had-
take for the vampires. You
Well,
think?
yeah, because at least this is going by. Well, this is going by some other.
derailing
Okay,
real quick.
hang on. So if you want to bring Blade into this,
No, I'm not bringing Blade into this.
Okay, I'm sorry.
This is like a
I
whole
can't do this,
decade
James.
before, but
no.
too
Grandpa
much
had-
rosé for fucking you. Too
Grandpa
much
had-
fucking frozen rosé
If
for
Grandpa
you.
had been Chris Christopherson,
No. But hang on.
all
think
my
about,
pants would have exploded.
Think about it, right? Okay, so we're meant to believe that Santa Carla is this haven for vampires, right?
Once upon a time,
you
we
figure
had a
at
crazy
least
podcast.
you have some people who are like, in order to keep things inconspicuous on the down low, you would have some cops on the take.
Mm-hmm. That makes sense. I like that.
To be fair, I don't know if we saw that many cops in this
Or
movie.
maybe
We didn't. We didn't see any.
It's like we saw
that too. We saw a security dude, but
we
that
saw
was
a
it.
security guard, and he got taken care of pretty quick.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think all the
He
cops
was key for food.
Well, I think they've really embraced their title as murder capital of the world.
Girl,
and
okay, I think that's a production notes thing, but like,
All right. Bad. Who's next?
okay.
Go, Parry. Do you have one?
I thought it was.
Well, Chris pointed to you.
Okay, well.
He different. I'm more.
I need you now.
Oh, here we go. Here we go.
Oh Lord, fighting words. All right, bad time. I'm afraid. Fuck you guys right now.
Okay.
That's a pre-fuck.
Okay,
to
all right,
everyone.
all right. Okay.
Not enough sexy sax man. His scenes were far too short.
What?
And they edited it incorrectly because he's not moving to the beat, actually, if you watch it. So, did you just try to throw something at me?
Yes.
And you hit your microphone.
Everybody keep your hands and feet to yourselves, goddammit.
This you know what? For the ladies. And you are completely like, this was a scene for the ladies, and you're not.
I don't want any of that.
I
I don't want none of that. I don't want no part of that sexy sax man because he was not sexy to me.
Excuse me.
I want none of that.
Excuse me. Did you not see all the links in the chain around
None
his neck?
of that.
He's not a maester, Chris.
I mean, I
link
never
represent?
found that
well,
sexy
one is
at
for
all.
metallurgy.
One is for sex, the
poison.
other is for sex.
You see my
the other
husband,
one's
right?
For sax, and then the other one's for sex.
Wait.
And
You
one's
see,
for working out.
I just want to rephrase.
One
You
is for
see my
games.
husband, right?
I've seen your husband.
I know. He's pretty fucking tall, but he's pretty wide shouldered, but he not sexy sax man.
Okay, well,
He don't play a musical instrument.
All right,
he don't
so-
have muscles buffing out everywhere
I
all
do
the time.
sweat a lot in the humidity.
Yeah,
but-
pretty much.
That's about it.
Yeah, that's exactly it.
Okay,
That's
all right.
that's the equivalent.
Okay, so
not
I
wearing
think-
tight ass jeans.
Okay, this is like the third time Sexy Sax Man has come up, so maybe after we do Good, Bad, and Ugly, we should dive into the Sexy Sax Man.
I do think he's definitely a talking point of
Okay.
this film.
All right.
Too much of a talking point of this film.
No, come on, Joel. That scene was too good for us not to talk about it.
To be fair,
it was
even
so-
if
I
you
was like, why is it so gratuitous right now?
well,
It's
to
not
be
even
fair,
gratuitous in a good way.
you know, it's
if there was
gratuitous in
any-
like
if there's anything that ages this movie at all,
it's
that.
it's
it's
him.
that scene, and that
I
scene,
agree.
and I must say, for a movie that is weirdly out of time almost.
that is so 80s.
If you remove the sexy sax man, this movie can probably be placed in almost any given time.
Post hippie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That
But
and
that
the
scene
VHS
itself-
store that Max runs.
Yes,
well,
agreed.
but
that shit's
but
sort
the
of
thing
coming
is,
back in a
the
weird way.
VHS store is necessary
You
because
don't, and you don't actually
that,
see the
that
VHS.
super lucrative VHS empire that Max has gives him the money to pay off the cops.
Right.
So you have to go. That's necessary. That's a plot point.
Okay, it's necessary to get through Good, Bad, and the Ugly.
this whole
Let's
backstory
go
we've
bad.
created.
It's a
Well,
bad
I guess
idea.
I'll go with my bad, and it has to be for me the Frog Brothers.
What?
Not,
Oh,
but,
shit,
but
those
not-
are fighting
but
words
not
right
them-
now. Those are
not
fighting
them,
words.
Not them in their entirety.
Okay, let me
it's
hear it.
more the fact that for a movie,
Damn, I'm
this
gonna get
movie,
divorced over this shit.
this movie shows a hell of a lot of restraint in certain aspects. For example, you don't get to see an actual physical vampire in your face up until an hour in. You don't see teeth come out until an hour in.
That's called low budget.
That's production notes, which I did have some comments about. But you don't see a vampire, and really, fake teeth are pretty cheap. So you don't see a vampire
but
for an
not-
hour in, and so this movie has a certain amount of restraint, and yet you have these two psychopath brothers who essentially, you take it from what they say, that they have seen vampires, and that vampires are all over this town, but they essentially stake a dude without actively confirming.
He's hanging upside down in a fucking cave and he's got back feet.
It could have been Batman.
Ugly feet
No, that
are while they may be a
They
crime.
don't live in Gotham.
it's not necessarily
they
completely
were-
indicative
no,
of vampirism.
They were not. No, it's not like they needed a pedicure. Like
Agree to disagree.
I mean,
No,
I've seen feet like that.
Do you disagree with your eyeballs? Because that's what we all saw.
I mean, I disagree with that because I've seen feet like that. They're on my best friend.
Joelle.
It's for real, bro. I can't. I
Wait,
can't.
does she know
Like,
you-
she grabs shit with her feet. Like,
Now, that
she's
is
very
out of
proud
the
of that
universe.
shit, bro. She's very proud of that
Okay,
shit.
does she know you feel this way? Because I'm sure
Yeah,
she
hell the
listens
fuck
to
she
this.
does.
Okay.
She does. I
That
won't
is
let
a
her
sign of
touch me with her
friendship.
foot.
All right.
For fucking sure.
Okay.
Like, she knows exactly what the deal is.
Okay, I won't say names to protect the innocent. But
I mean,
hey,
you don't
girl,
have
hey.
to. I'm just
But
saying. I'm
it's-
just saying.
it's like
Especially if she hasn't had a pedicure in a while. God damn.
Okay,
You
no.
in a movie that was full, like I guess you could say that it was the concept of the Frog Brothers in general. Maybe not even any of the actors. I guess in a movie that was so full of ridiculousness to the point where you could laugh at most of it, you had these two very self-serious brothers.
but
that
I
were
think,
just like,
but that's
the
what
whole
made them
time.
funny. That's what made you laugh at them because they were so serious. And as the movie goes on, you realize they're really full of shit.
I do.
Who murder people.
Had they ever killed any
Vampires.
vampires before? Is the question. Is this their
No!
first kill?
No, that was their first kill for sure.
Because they seem to know a lot about what happens to vampires when they die.
Yeah,
But maybe that's just because they've read a lot of comic books.
yeah, and they got the garlic wrong. And,
Right,
and
right.
So and like, okay, I'm about to get into my ugly, but I will wait because this what I'm about to say is about to get into the ugly.
Okay.
Well,
wait.
I will say, though, that I think that if you view it through the lens of a B movie, that you can very, dour and intense teenage vampire movie only.
Yeah.
The Dark Knight as vampire.
It just doesn't work on that level
Yeah.
throughout. But if you look at it as a B movie, because that's what I was doing, I was trying to be very, serious about it at the start, and I was like, this is not working for me until I flipped that switch and
Until
said,
exactly 10 minutes in.
yeah, it
And
was
then-
like, okay, there, and I had to remember again that this is Joel Schumacher, and he tends to skew toward the goofy and the schlocky, and then I could go, okay, if this is kind of a joke, then I can roll with this.
Yeah,
And I don't know if they thought about it that way, but I kind of think that works
I
for
think
me.
so because you can tell they're not taking the film does not take itself seriously, which I think it's to its benefit.
It is a humor
It's just the
horror.
right,
All right,
yeah.
you know what? I
and
guess-
and it's a lot funnier than you would expect going in for a vampire movie.
I guess you could say that I really had trouble finding a bad in this. So
I did too.
I pulled out
No, I have
I
bads.
guess you could
Of
say
course.
that at least for
I have
me,
bads.
Of course.
for me, I pulled at the least fun element of the movie,
Okay.
which is still pretty good. I mean, because I do like, I like certain aspects of the Frog
You
Brothers,
see?
and maybe the self-seriousness was something that was almost a discordant note for me, but
No, but
it still works, I guess.
again, I think, but that is what makes them funny. The fact that they take themselves so seriously.
And I did laugh at them, so
and
you,
like to me,
you know,
they
point
were, and to me,
taken.
they were second to Grandpa in terms of what
Oh
I
hell
liked
no!
about this film.
No, Grandpa by a country mile, but it's like
Yeah.
they're not even close to Grandpa. Not
Oh
second.
my god.
Yeah.
No.
Okay, all right. So
Leave
wait,
Abuelo alone.
Wait, Parry, have you done your bad yet? Lay it on.
You're bad.
My bad
Bads.
for fucking sure is it's way too easy to turn into a vampire in this movie.
Yeah.
It's too easy. It was just like, oh yeah, blink, you're a
You have to-
vampire.
you have to drink the blood,
And then you have
and
to
then you
have
have to
your first
murder
kill.
somebody.
No, right, but
And
but
murdering somebody isn't the easiest thing in the world.
I mean, here's the
You
thing.
should know.
You are. I should know. Yeah, because I want to murder fucking various
That
people
just
at
came
various
out the
points
wrong
so many
way.
times. I don't know what you're talking
I mean, now
about
that
right
you're
now.
now that you're used to the killing, you know how easy it is. But when you started, it was much harder, right?
I plead the fifth.
You're chasing that high all your life.
The first one is always the hardest.
Said
Anyway-
Jeffrey Dahmer. I don't fucking understand.
Okay, all right.
True
So,
romance, but
okay.
please.
So,
So-
do you have
so-
other bads, or can we explore this? A
No,
little more?
no. That's just definitely the fucking bad. It was way too easy to turn into a vampire.
Okay.
There wasn't like this huge true process because they were already bloodthirsty anyway. So they were going to do the kill to get the blood anyway. Like, I don't really like it just wasn't difficult. There wasn't a you didn't see this whole like long drawn out thing. Like,
Well, I'm glad we didn't see a whole drawn out thing.
I mean,
Because like I like the
They
pacing
bring out
of
that
this
goth
film.
bottle, and then they
Yeah.
make him kill
oh
somebody.
yeah,
And
chug,
That's
chug, chug,
Yeah, that's
chug.
the exact kind of bottle you
Well, I
hold
mean-
vampire blood in. It looks crazy.
It's not the kind of bottle that you keep in the fridge, and then your housekeeper.
I mean, so I drank
some.
like a sip or two, and then I'm a vampire. I just
Well,
gotta.
only if you murder someone after.
I know,
It's
but
the
you
good
already
blood.
have the bloodthirst. No, this is my point.
Essentially,
is that stop. Once you start
it's all
drinking the
downhill.
blood, but it's already downhill because you're already bloodthirsty.
Yeah.
It's not as if like they drained you or sort of re-drained you and then
Oh, I
refed
get
you the
it.
blood.
Yeah, which
Like,
is what
it's
you
not
usually see.
Yeah, it's not like
Yeah.
convoluted. It's just like, oh, you drank this blood, you automatically are bloodthirsty. Ergo, you will be killing somebody for your own survival later.
Okay. You know
It's
what?
too easy.
I can see that.
It's too easy.
Yeah, because essentially, if you drink the blood but you don't kill someone, you've
You
got
die,
you've-
like-
well, no, you've got the in
You have
effect,
the
you've got
hunger.
the DTs
Yes.
for the rest of your life.
Correct.
You've got to be like the Cullens and
Ugh, don't bring them into this.
and
Wow. You guys are bitch haters.
And look, I wouldn't hate so much if I wasn't so bored during Twilight, and also.
Bored, try sitting.
I was bored, and then, it also doesn't help that my mother was so into the series. It just kind of grossed me out.
Paging Dr. Freud. Paging Dr. Freud.
You think it's weird for me?
Damn, your wife is giving you all types of fucking shit. Jesus.
Whatever. I mean,
Jesus.
I'm used to getting shit.
Oh my God.
But a question for you on if you were hanging out with someone that you just met,
Yeah.
and when you went to go eat the
I'm
food,
not a dumb boy.
and
Yeah.
yeah,
That's
but
number one.
I'm asking the room.
Okay.
And you went to
Alright,
go eat some food they offered you, and it turned into worms and maggots.
Uh-huh.
And then they offer you a drink. Are you drinking that after your food has been turning into insects?
Well, it depends on if you're trying to get laid
Yeah. Yeah, but here's the thing
And-
too.
and a teenage man.
And Jamie
Yeah.
Gertz
Boy.
is very attractive. Although, it's like the rest of the movie was a sausage party. I wouldn't be trying to score with her while every other dude in the room is like looking at me. It's like, oh God, this is weird. I can't get it up. Ugh.
I just want to apologize right
In
now
advance.
in advance for the words that come out of my husband's mouth.
Well, I do have to ask, if you're a teenage vampire, do you just have raging hormones for all eternity?
Oh,
Because
Wait. First
and
of all,
is
you
your voice
already
still
have. Think about
fluctuating
it.
the
You
whole...
already have fucking raging hormones, and now you go ahead and you add bloodthirst on top of the raging hormones. Like this cannot end fucking well.
that really does sound miserable.
It just cannot end well. Like
And
you are literally trying to prove your manhood your entire fucking life, which men are normally doing anyway. It's just like an added fucking extra
questioning my
of
manhood?
bloodthirst. I don't want to know about your manhood.
And then you
now
have...
you're a man.
And then you have acne forever, and like I said, your voice is breaking
like-
forever. 'cause-
yeah, I remember when we were all watching True Blood while it was on, right? And we'd have these thought exercises. By we, I mean like friend circle, cousin circle, what have you, right? So for me, like I was saying, like, look, you don't want to turn too young, because then it's like you're on. Then people are just gonna think you're a kid forever.
Right.
You don't want to turn too old, because hey, what's the point of being a vampire if you can't look young forever? Okay.
So you're saying that Max was the perfect age?
No, I'm saying like in your 30s. That's the sweet spot. You're not like you
I mean,
still
because
have your
look,
youth,
because
Well,
even
but
if
you're not a kid.
but
No one
look-
can
Wait.
use you for a kid.
You mean your 30s when you have good fucking gene pools?
Yeah, and you haven't lived too rough of a life.
Well, isn't it...
Because in the words of the great Indiana Jones, it's not the years, it's the mileage.
to be fair,
He has a lot of fucking mileage.
If this movie proves anything, it's that
Just not on his
Grandpa
love
still
scenes.
fucks.
Yeah.
It
That-
doesn't matter how old you are. That man was getting played.
When they say the widow somebody called, he does jump in that
Widow
truck.
Johnson.
He-
Widow
he's in
Every
that
Johnson.
truck
time you
right
say
away.
grandpa, I think of my own grandpa, and so ergo, when you
No,
say that
stop-
shit, it's
stop
not.
it,
Are you saying
Yes,
that your
yes, somebody
grandpa?
I'm just
Was a
I'm
vampire
just
killer?
saying,
Stop
Melissa,
it.
somebody else
Stop
needs to
it.
feel my
I
pain
am
right
going-
now.
I'm going to derail.
Someone else needs to feel my pain right
so
now.
you're saying
So-
your grandfather was the Jamaican Van Helsing?
I am just saying.
I
I'm
wish.
just saying.
So what are Jamaican vampires like then?
Fucking awesome. Boom, boom, lick shot with that shit, okay?
Okay, well, here's the thing, because Barnard Hughes, the actor who plays Grandpa,
Yes.
he is only credited.
He's a Jamaican?
As,
I'm just kidding.
No, he is only credited as Grandpa.
Right.
Right? So maybe, for the sake of everybody, maybe we should just go with Barnard or Grandpa Emerson.
Or Van Helsing.
Or granddad, because we don't call our grandpa granddad. So.
Or his name from Tron, which I'm forgetting right now.
He was in Tron?
That's
Yeah,
right.
he was the one who ran the In-Out Tower. And
That sounds so dirty.
Oh, I love that movie.
The In-Out Tower.
well,
Let's not forget he was
we'll
also
call
a
it the I.O.
taxidermist. I
Tower,
can't
but-
handle it.
Yeah, but this and this all plays into my theory about Grandpa being a vampire hunter. Okay, we can talk about it, but
I saw not
keep
one
going on
taxidermied human in that house.
Obviously, because vampires turn to dust, or they blow up, or they melt. According
Because there
to
was a
this
lot
film.
of sunlight in that taxidermy room, right?
You don't know his life.
Dumont. That was his name. He was Dr. Walter Gibbs, but he was also Dumont inside the computer where he ran the I.O. Tower. So
Perfect.
I always loved him in Tron.
All
so-
right,
Okay.
ugly.
Ugly.
We're like at the hour fucking mark, and we haven't even
I
gotten
know,
ugly
we-
yet. Like first page, bro.
It's going to be a special edition.
Harry's gonna
First
have
page.
so much to edit
This
out.
is going to be the Gandhi of you haven't seen what.
This is going to be longer than Gandhi.
An episode that I still
I
haven't
don't.
listened to.
I don't know.
to be
Gandhi,
fair.
I got a lot out of. I'm not sure that,
that was
we're
your
getting a
film.
lot
That's a little
out
biased.
of. No. Everybody gets a lot out of Gandhi when they watch.
My Shangri-La.
Oh, wait, no. Am I starting with ugly, or are we starting
Yo,
over?
ugly.
Ugly.
Okay, but you
start
can go
with-
first.
Lo feo.
That my ugly was that it felt sort of chopped up and mashed up and missing pieces, and there wasn't a smooth flow to the overall film. And I think part of that was because, the original idea for it was and this is a production note, but The Lost Boys. The first minute I heard that title, I thought,
Peter
oh,
Pan?
like Peter Pan. And, Peter Panpire. And, they were thinking that the idea that Peter Pan was maybe a vampire, and that's where the idea for the film came from, and that these Lost Boys were sort of his minions. And it was going to be sort of more of a Goonies style with younger kids. And Joel Schumacher didn't like that idea and wanted the sexier vampires. And I feel like elements of that original are still in there. That's where some of that goofiness comes from, but it was a mashup of that silliness with the more serious teen vampire film. And on some levels, for me, that works, as I was saying, if you think about it in that B-movie kind of way. But some of it is just jointed and jarring, and it's kind of like a good example I always think of is like Pineapple Express.
Okay.
It's a movie that at times is really funny, and then at other times it's this really dark comedy, and then at other times it's just dark, and they're trying to fit all these things together. And there's a number of films in recent years that have tried to do this, and they don't always work. And I felt like this one worked okay, but it still felt like it needed a couple of rewrites. And I know this was sort of a rushed production, and
Okay.
I think that
Damn.
contributes to some of that. I really think it needed some, like I said, script rewrites and some reshoots to fill it out a little bit. And some of the cut scenes, if you watch the special editions, the special features, they do help explain some of that. But, what I realized is that the audience they were going for probably really didn't care about the disjointedness.
Yeah.
They were, apparently the test audiences tore the theater apart. They enjoyed it so much.
Yeah.
Or like the surf Nazis in the front row, like tore the seats out and threw the stuffing around. And so they didn't care.
It's
to them,
a
it was just
California movie.
It was just a fun movie,
Yeah.
and they weren't noticing what was missing. So
I want to piggyback on that for a second, because
Yeah.
I felt the same way, where there were some, like, when you really start thinking about this movie and some of the stuff, like, it really does feel like some of that connective tissue is missing.
yes,
Or things that I would have liked them to go more in depth with, right? Like the whole relationship between Max and David, because like they're at the end, Jamie Gertz has this line where it's like, "You're the secret David was protecting," and that comes out of nowhere. We have no inkling to that prior, so I felt like if they spent more time on that, and like and then you have to fill in the blanks yourself, thinking about like, oh well, maybe they had a talk somewhere. And he's like, no, you can't. Star can't kill this kid anymore. You have to try and turn him.
Wait, that leads
Right?
me to a
Yeah.
question.
So maybe, and the movie's only an hour and a half long, so they could have spent a little bit more time on those things to get and you'd only be up to the 2-hour mark, I think.
right.
Although,
I feel the same.
I guess a question this would be a question for Joelle. Did you know that Max was the big bad? Like,
Yeah.
did you pull that out of
Yeah.
there? Because I almost like the fact that he came out of nowhere.
I mean, he did at the end, but at the same time, you had no idea that David had some sort of secret that he was protecting.
I mean,
You could have at least seen that, even if you never saw he and Max have a conversation. David needs to have a conversation with Star about, like, you're not gonna. I want you to kill this dude, but change of plans.
It's not out of nowhere. I mean, he come into the store and he sort of is like, "Why the fuck are you here?"
Because they need a job.
No, that wasn't why.
Yeah, they were totally in there to fill out an application.
That leads to my favorite quote of the movie, which is a part you totally skipped out.
We haven't gotten there yet, actually.
Oh, wait, does that come later?
Oh, crap. No, we were supposed to do that shit. You're very right.
I'm Michael.
Michael's great. I like Michael. This is Michael.
Michael.
It's blood.
Yeah. Michael. Good night, Michael. Michael. You must be Michael, right?